an extremely late edition of X-Feed. We're going over a Breaking Bad card that sold for a lot of money. We're going to go over some Kobe cards. We're going to go over people complaining about some recent drops. We've got flippers that are already selling things, I think, a little bit cheaper. We're going to be comparing athletes to the IP that exists out there. Is there a problem where just fictional brands are going to go way farther than some of the sporting legends? Let's get into it, and we're going to start with some life advice coming from Robbie Ferguson. The single greatest skill you can develop is the ability to stay in a great mood in the absence of things to be in a great mood about. So that's why we're here, rocking and rolling late. We're going to be in a great mood. We're also not going to go through this entire thread, but I thought this is interesting, so make note, send it to a friend. As a neuroscientist, here are 7 ways to trick your brain into doing difficult things. 1, shrink the task to just 2 minutes. Your brain resists big commitments, so don't make one. So I'm sitting here like, hey, you know what? Do I go to bed? Do I stream? We got a couple of minutes here. Of course we're going to stream. See, it's good. That thought. Work out, do 1 exercise. See, small things, just small. Clean the house, pick up 3 items. Boom, boom, boom. All right, great. Now let's get into the actual stuff. In the NBA, this is maybe the hottest take of the day. I feel like there is still a riding the coattails. Is that the right phrase? Where I still think people are thinking about the World Series. Now, that might be because I'm a Blue Jays fan, and that was such a big ordeal. But check this NBA takeout. Everybody asleep? Good. There's an NBA team that's 21-1. I feel like the last time a defending champion was going for the all-time wins record at a pace like this, it was everywhere in the sports media world. Now nobody in that same ecosystem seems to care all that much. Maybe it's a marketing thing. Like, if it was a different team besides the Oklahoma City Thunder that had that sort of record, do you think that marketing team would have been able to highlight that more, get more individuals talking about it? Is that a stupid thought where the world is literally just all about marketing and the way that you push it? But back to the riding the coattails of the craziness that was the World Series. You've seen your Spotify year in review. You've seen your YouTube year in review, which I saw Stately Wayne Manor had me on the top of that list, in which I was under like the financial category. So we're going to have to change up some YouTube settings here. Or maybe that's because we talk about the price of things. But anyway, the top 2025 top mentioned teams: Dodgers, Yankees, Blue Jays, Mariners, Red Sox. Tolly, what's dude? How many of these teams do you hate on the screen, Tolly? That's realistically what I want to know. Now we can go over to the player side of things, and it's probably not much of a surprise. Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, Kyle Rowley, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and Paul Skeens. Can you imagine if Paul Skeens goes to like a very popular team? Oh, buddy. His collectibles are already like rocketing. Sheesh. Get a good fandom behind that, and it is Jover. Only one of them. No, okay. So as we've been doing this collectible run of sorts, I've started trying to educate myself and learn. And speak of the devil, the one guy who shows that I pop up on his YouTube recap.
Yo, sheesh, this man saying pirates aren't popular.
Yo, are the pirates popular? Yo, nah, that's a foul take. No, that's a foul take, dude. The people that live in Pittsburgh hate the owners, don't they? Like, it's the narrative's been like, yo, just sell the team and everything else. But back to this. You guys ever read the NBA magazines? Back when I was younger and like was really into basketball, like the Derrick Rose Chicago Bulls days. Holy smokes, I watched every game I could. I was a frequent buyer of basketball-related magazines. So I totally remember Slam, and I was like, oh, hey, look at that. There's a Kobe Bryant one. So I thought for a second, well, let me go and look at like what that card would cost. And I found this single ad. Now, obviously there's more, but I wanted to bring this one up for a particular reason. Look how awful that pixel resolution is. Like, imagine listing something for sale and not even trying to take a clear photo. Like the back of it, okay, great. 10 out of 10, phenomenal. Not really any complaints. But that, This is like they purposely messed up. Unreal. And for only $80. Oh man, we gotta maybe swoop in on that one. So earlier today, it was the 25-26 Topps Chrome Basketball First Day issue. So as we go through this, feel free to knock my tooth out if I say something incorrect here. But this was like a reverse Dutch auction that started at $3,500 and then went down until it sold out. Now, there was a couple things that were interesting about this because the limit, first of all, was I believe 32 or 34 orders. Okay, so we're thinking that some people are going to be dropping $60,000 on this if it drops enough. Like, oh, okay, that's sort of interesting. But then at one point during the auction, I saw somebody bring up the fact that like they changed the limit instead of like the 34, 32 to 64. And I'm like, man, this takes me back to a certain cluster in the world that I know of having these certain drops. And so like I'm looking online, right? And you see this, I'm like, okay, so 2025, looking for 3 autographs per set. We go on here, and I'm like, was this person like intending on flipping it, or is there another case that happened earlier in the year, which I believe there was? Because this one's called like the Hobby Jumbo Box, and this one's like first day issue. So they might be separate. But the image looks identical. So are you telling me that we're like flat out taking $700 losses like immediately day one of this? Oh boy. Oh boy. Now within this, and I know that the cover is in the way. Let me try to zoom in a little bit for you. So the boxes of Topps Chrome Basketball First Day issue contain 3 autographs and 2 exclusive First Day issue parallels. Parallels will be a mix of tricolor green, yellow, purple numbered to 8, and a silver parallel numbered to 12. Bidding began at $3,500 per box and lowered every 3 minutes before ending after 42 minutes. Topps didn't immediately announce how many boxes were sold at each price. And then to the point earlier of the ones that were selling, they had hobby and jumbo boxes, which is the ad that we just looked at. So I don't think that they're actually taking that much of a loss. But they retailed for $370 and $700. And jumbo boxes have since been flipped on eBay for as much as $1,400. So the guy that we thought, see, this is why you got to do a little bit of your own research. The guy we thought was taking a $700 loss is actually completely banking on all of it. But wow. All of these things are just so expensive. In a time where we're being told by the media, you know, oh, there's a recession, there's this and that. We don't know what the future is going to look like. It is bonkers banana pants. How insane we are seeing prices of like new releases. And I mean like NBA Top Shot, it's sort of the same ordeal. We're seeing $3,500 reverse starting auction. Like what? Nuts. And then Upper Deck here, they got a couple of patches that are coming out in their release. So if you like Macklin Celebrini getting the 1 of 1. Oh, sheesh. Can you imagine pulling that? Okay. Time for a potential controversial take from the stream the other day. Speaking of Mario and Zelda, etc., as cultural figures, on par with Jordan was simply a gross miscalculation. So context is like briefly missing here now that I'm rewatching these clips. And guys, we are over on TikTok as well. There was a thread where somebody was making a point about one thing that I was super wrong about was video games, specifically like graded and sealed video games, having any sort of long-term value or going up, where we've seen on the sports collectible front, Pokemon included, yada, yada, yada. I mean, for Pokemon, it's more cards, right? But for any sort of video games, it's not really taking off the same way. So there was a note of them basically mentioned that, and so that's where the rant came from. That's a fire thought to have. So if I could make an argument, I suppose, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but I've always had the thought of, it's great when you see legends of various sports continue to have such a high demand. Obviously, Michael Jordan's up on that list. We could say that Shohei Ohtani is very much on his way to being there. For LeBron James. But the thing with LeBron and Shohei that we don't get with Michael Jordan and some of the other legends when you look across various sports, like Derek Jeter from the Yankees, if we want to throw another one in there MLB wise, is that people, unless you grew up watching them, the likelihood of you going back or a person going back to watch old games to see and live those exact experiences is probably pretty small. But when we're talking about IP like Zelda or Mario, next month, there could be a game that comes out that is the greatest game that has ever existed, right? I also wonder whether the grouping of that's just some food for thought. And I'm curious if anybody's got any takes on that. Do you agree that I'm not going back to watch some of these legends from back in the day? And if you go on YouTube, you can watch an unreal amount of like older NBA games and even NFL for that matter. And so let's continue that train of thought for just a second. The graphic of the greatest athletes ever inspired us. So you look across, there's your LeBron James, you got the Wayne Gretzky's in there, Barry Bonds, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, everybody else, Messi in the middle, Hamilton, Tiger Woods, yada, 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 yada. So here's some of the collectibles from each of them. So a signed jersey from Ronaldo, a LeBron James upper deck signature kicks signed auto. I guess signed auto. Isn't auto the same thing as sign? I don't know if that's right. The 2012 London Olympics Usain Bolt signed ticket. That one, I don't know. I think that one's pretty cool. Williams sisters autos from 1991. Ink's gonna fade a little bit, but not bad. Wayne Gretzky signed King's jacket. Tiger Woods signed 1991 amateur golf tournament application. Wow. Okay. so the Tiger Woods one I think is sweet. The Usain Bolt one's really good. Babe Ruth, first day cover autograph, PSA 9. Interesting that one's graded. An 06 Argentina signed kit. Okay. Muhammad Ali autos. Okay. Michael Jordan, 1985 Starco. See, it's funny because going through these, I feel that I have a completely different reaction than what you do of like going through and saying, okay, like some people be like, yeah, the Lewis Hamilton glove at 10 out of 10. To me, it's like, it doesn't really do anything for me. Barry Bonds autograph out of 5 from Top Series 2. I don't know if you watch a guy named Jeff Pearlman, and he's on TikTok. He's written a bunch of books, and the guy has just bashed Barry Bonds. And it's so interesting to hear like the behind the scenes because you always think, oh yeah, these athletes are like great people, and then you're like, yeah, I don't know about that one. A Pele Grail card, kind of neat. But yeah, think about all those legends. How many people that were born in the past, I don't know, like let's say 10, 15 years, are actively going to go back and watch games from Pele, Barry Bonds. I mean, Ronaldo's playing right now, and how many people go and watch his games in the Saudi League? Messi's in Major League Soccer, which on Saturday, final for MLS. I got the MLS season pass, and apparently they're just adding it to like Apple TV next year. It's great entertainment. I really love Major League Soccer, and I think people are going to be a huge fan of that coming next year because it feels like there's massive players that are coming through. FIFA has announced that Aaron Judge will be joining the likes of Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, and Wayne Gretzky on stage as the groups for the 2026 World Cup are announced, and this is happening tomorrow at noon. Tickets, I believe, are going on sale too. So if you're in North America planning on going, it's like between Canada, US, and Mexico. Apparently tickets are like just red hot for it too. And then we also have the Major League Baseball, or not Major League Baseball, the World Baseball Classic coming up in a couple months in 2026. So this year has an unreal amount of major sporting events. The last thing that I'm going to leave you with here is we're slowly approaching 15 minutes as predicted because we're psychic in theory. And Tully, thank you so much for coming on through and anybody else watching. Bryan Cranston, the Tops, Allen and Ginter. They've had a whole bunch of different celebrities added on top of athletes for a release. And Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad signed the card Let's Cook. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Love it. But thanks so much, guys, for tuning on in. Again, we do the RWA SegMints Podcast, so if you check the link in the description down below, if you're here on YouTube, or if you follow me on X and you're wanting a little bit of a different conversation around the tokenization of everything, would love for you guys to check out that podcast. Any likes, shares are greatly appreciated, and specifically, if you are on YouTube, if you want to go check out the Shorts feed, we've been uploading a ton of them, and we've had an insane amount of success with it. So again, any likes, comments, shares, and all of this are widely appreciated, and sincerely, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.